the real point for me where I started noticing things taking off, he had like a lease listing, and he wanted me to post it. Or there's someone else in our office that was posting lease listings on Craigslist.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, this is a great idea. It's Craigslist. So I post his lease listings on Craigslist, and I would go and take photography because the photography that he had was not like the best. But since I had my camera and I knew how to photograph things from the reef aquarium, so I'd tell him, how about that? Let me go and take photos of this. I'll Photoshop them. I'll put it on Craigslist.
Right.
Perfect. So I ended up doing my first few deals from Craigslist of like, and these were like $300 to $700 commissions.
Yeah.
Renting places on Craigslist, and their leases like $2,500 to $5,000 a month. And, you know, sometimes people would call me from those and say, I didn't like this place. And I'd say, well, let me find you something.
Right.
And I'd find them something. And I'd get paid a commission from the landlord. So for the tenant, it cost them nothing. But I would make some money on the back end.
Right.
And I just churn through these leases. And I really optimized it. Like I took it just as seriously on Craigslist as I do now on YouTube. Because back then you could do HTML on Craigslist. So you could go through and like customize your whole post. And I would A/B test every single thing from putting like my name at the top, my name at the bottom, Graham Stephan Coldwell Banker, my name, my phone number, my email. And I like got this perfect template that I believed worked better than every other ad on Craigslist. And I would even experiment with the titles of the post. Like I noticed when you go in the for sale section, this was 2008, so a long time. I don't know if it's still the case today. The for sale section or the job hiring section, you'd have these cool little like emoji things, like the stars and the squares and the blocks. No one did that for housing. Nobody. And so I said, well, why can't I just put this in housing? So I did. Yeah. And so it was so you would scroll down this thing and you would know within a second my listings.
Right.
Because you would see these big blocks of text. And I experimented from like long titles, short titles, and I just found this template that worked so amazingly well to get people to reach out to me. Like, I realized that most people will not reach out to you unless they see a phone number and an email address. Okay. But they'll email you, but they're not going to call you. But if they just see an email, they're sketched out. So they want a phone number in there too, just for legitimacy. So I put a phone number in there instead. If I led with Coldwell Banker, they would immediately think, oh, it's this big company. But if I led with my name, they would be more likely to reach out because it seems more personable. I figured out all the picture placements, which thumbnails you want to have. I figured everything out. And then I found a Craigslist tracker where you could track the number of impressions a certain page gets. And I paid for this thing so I can get unlimited tracking.
Right.
And so I'd have this huge spreadsheet of every single one of my listings with the titles and the price points. And I could see that like 80% of the people reaching out to me were looking between that were really good clients, were like between the price points of like $7,000 to $15,000 a month.
Okay.
Beverly Hills, Bel Air, West Hollywood, Westwood. That's it. So I said, why am I going to waste my time posting all these other leases if it doesn't fit this criteria? So that's the point where I started going to other agents in my office and just asking them, hey, you have a lease like this. It's been on the market for 30 days. You haven't rented it. The photography's not that good. I'll give you free photography. You could take it, put it on the MLS. It's free. In exchange, just let me post it on Craigslist and bring a tenant. If you rent it out before I bring you someone, I get nothing. But let me at least post it on Craigslist. Almost every agent would say yes to that.
Sure.
And then in a lot of those cases, I would be the ones to bring the tenant because they'd reach out to me. Or they don't like the house, but then I could help that tenant find something else.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I was inundated with lease clients.